Today I wanted to go over the rod that I was using on the cargo rack that I was building earlier this week. It's a 7018. This is one of the most, well actually this is the most popular rod sold today. They sell more 7018 than they do any other rod by a pretty wide margin. And there's a good reason for that. It can run, it's just as versatile as 6011 as far as running on machines. It can run AC, DC positive, and DC negative. It's more resistant to metal fatigue than 6010 or 6011. But it's a little less penetrating. Very easy rod to run, but it can be a little difficult to restart the rod. So this is a drop and drag rod. All that means is that when you take it, you strike it like a match again, go back to the start, and you just run at a constant travel speed. You can do a little weave motion if you want, or anything like that. I don't recommend stepping this rod because of the nature of it. It's not a fast freeze rod, so it won't act the same as 6010 or 6011, and you run a risk of trapping slag because of how much slag that this rod produces. It's also difficult to restart because what happens is the slag on the tip of this rod after you run kind of forms over top of it and has this little bit of silica, and you have to chip that off before you restart the rod. So that makes restarting 7018 a little bit more difficult. That's why you see people on their workpiece retapping this rod because they can't get it fired up. So this rod is a low hydrogen rod, and the benefit to that is as long as they're kept warm and dry, they induce much less hydrogen into the weld than other rods. So they resist what's called hydrogen cracking. And the manufacturer recommends after breaking the seal of the can, you should put them in a rod oven after 4 hours of exposure. Now, these have not been put in a rod oven, but I don't use these on any customer's equipment. I usually get a new batch of 7018 and break open the seal for the project that I'm doing versus keeping a rod oven. I really should order a rod oven, as a matter of fact I'm going to, but that's what I got right now. I use these for practice. So, if you want more details on that, there is a lot more to look up. I can go into some serious depth into hydrogen cracking in another video if you'd like, but we'll just move on to actually running this rod. So again, I just got a piece of plate. This is my T-joint that I'm going to use. I put it in my vise. Nice. Whoa, that's not steady. Nice steady space to work at. This is also another good rod to have in your garage because you can use it for a lot of things, and it's a really very strong rod. So I'm going to turn myself up to close to 80. My dig is 0. So again, this is a drop and drag rod. So when I go to arc start, it's going to be starting it like a match, bringing it back to the start, and just 10-15 degree angle. This rod may even want a little bit more than that, maybe 25 at the most, and just dragging at a constant speed. If you wouldn't widen your puddle a little bit, you slow down, or you start doing a little bit of a weave. You really shouldn't weave any more than 1.5 times the diameter of the rod, but you can get away with quite a lot with 7018. Just if you're testing for somebody or doing something for a company, 1.5 times is usually the limit. For practice, you want to overlap each weld bead halfway so you have a nice flat surface, and you can keep building up on this to make this thing an inch thick if you want. But you can keep building up on this and keep practicing on the same piece so you're not wasting metal. Alright, so you can see 7018 is definitely a more aesthetically pleasing weld. A smoother arc, easier to run, no steps. 6011 is more of a utilitarian rod to use. This is kind of what I would like 7018 to look if I was looking at somebody's practice piece. Really consistent, really flat. My ripples are very close together. width of the weld is pretty even, relatively straight run, no spatter. So if you have any spatter on the weld, that would mean that for 7018 you're long arcing a little much and you have to close up your arc gap. If your arc gap is too tight, you just end up extinguishing your arc. So 7018 is pretty easy to know whether you're long arcing or not. It also doesn't tolerate either one very much. Now I've gone over both 6011 and 7018. My two favorite rods that I keep with me at all times that I use on most of my projects. And a matter of fact, most of my welds are a combination of the both. I'll run a 6010 or 6011 first pass, and then a 7018 as a second pass and beyond. 6011 has that penetrating power as well as the ability to burn through, whereas 7018 has that resistance to metal fatigue and the aesthetically pleasing look. Thank you very much for watching this video. This video is a little short. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so my energy is not what I would typically have on something like this. But if this is something that you like to see, if you want to see more with 7018, please let me know in the comments. You can find me stickmanfab@gmail.com, Instagram, and Facebook. And if there's anything else that anybody else wants to see, whether it's a different type of rod or a technique that you've heard of or anything like that, please let me know. I'd be glad to make a video to show everybody. And for now, I'll see you guys next week.